All right, so the DJI Pocket Osmo 3 is a camera for idiots. And if you're offended by that comment, you're probably one of those idiots. Now, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that this camera is idiot proof. And like most products out there, I feel like a lot of YouTubers and reviewers have been overhyping this camera as being the best thing since sliced bread, and they're wrong. They're wrong. I hate to be the YouTube bad guy, but after testing this camera, putting it through its paces here in New York City, it just doesn't stack up, especially when it comes to how people are supposed to be using this camera versus how they're actually really using it. And again, that's not your fault. It's the marketing, it's the media engine. They want us to buy. And while this is a great product, DJI did an amazing job designing this thing. You can hand this thing to your dog, your girlfriend, your toddler, and they'll get amazing footage on it. But that doesn't mean it's the right camera for you. So we're gonna answer some questions. Who's this camera for? What's the hidden cost of owning this thing? What's it like to use? And what are some better alternatives? And of course, if it's your first time here, my name's Fredo. I'm a hybrid athlete here in New York City. That means I run, I box, I swim, I do yoga, and I lift weights. And I test these products here in New York City. And technically, this camera should be for me because I'm a full-time content creator. Whether I'm shooting something in the gym, a product review, traveling in New York City, this thing should be the ultimate device for me. I mean, spoiler alert, it's not. There's other things that I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you other solutions actually when it comes to the best case use. And I'm not just talking out my ass here. I'm actually recording with 3 different cameras right now. $200 solution, the Pocket Osmo 3, which is $500, $700 depending on what kind of combo you get. Then you have the Sony FX30 with a 12mm f2 lens, which is about, let's say, $2,000 full price. This is the 3 cameras that I'm using to record. So we're gonna answer some questions. All right, so the first thing we're gonna address is the footprint. If you look at all the thumbnails, if you do any research about the DJI Pocket Osmo 3, the first thing you see is this sexy little device. Every thumbnail shows just the camera unit. It looks sleek, it looks sexy, it's compact, it looks like it just slides into your pocket, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. While the base unit is nice and portable, the problem is that that's not how you're gonna use it. More than likely, you're gonna attach that battery grip, because the battery life on the Pocket Osmo 3 isn't that great, and you've already increased the size by like 50 or 60%. Then of course, you're gonna need a tripod. Now this is the best tripod I've found, and I'll link all these accessories in the description below, but most tripods are the small dinky ones, and this thing is fragile. You don't want to put it down, it gets blown over by the wind. So I've opted for this Ulanzi tripod. It's got metal legs, it's got a nice ball head, it's telescoping. This is the best solution. But when you add this to the package, now you've doubled the size. So essentially you went from the idea of this small pocket camera to essentially having a police baton in your pocket. Now, of course, this is a little bit of an exaggeration. It's still more compact than a lot of other solutions, like having a full camera and a full gimbal with you. But it's something to note because these reviews are kind of disingenuous. On top of that, you're gonna need a protective cover. The one that DJI gives you kind of sucks. There's better solutions out there. And then if you want a wireless mic solution, this is the one I've picked up by SmallRig. It's actually the best one and nobody's talked about it. I just dropped something. This is the most compact, best solution for wireless audio on the actual Pocket Osmo 3. And I'll show you how that looks like. I think I have some B-roll of it. And that doesn't even account for all the other random accessories you can put on this thing. Whether it's special mounts to put it on your car or magnetically attach it to a wall, ND filters, wide angle filters, the list goes on. You can really spec this thing out and make it really pro looking, but it's never gonna be a small, compact little camera like you see all these influencers pushing it. There's always gotta be some accessory you attach to it. And that kind of leads me into the next point, which is the cost. The cost of this device is not a flat fee. Whether you're getting the base combo for like 5 something or the creator combo for 7 something, you still have to account for a bunch of little accessories that can cost you up to $200, $300. An SD card, that's like 50, 60 bucks. A tripod, a good one, that's like 50, 60 bucks. A quick release mount, that's like 30 bucks. If you want to get an alternative mic solution, that's like 80 to 50 bucks. A third-party protective case, that's another 50, 60 bucks. All those accessories are little add-ons that you're going to pick up either when you buy the camera or when you're trying to get the camera to do what you want it to do eventually. And you have to be considerate of that. It's not a flat rate cost for this device. So then that begs the question, who is this for? And the truth is that the Pocket Osmo 3 has been shilled by other creators as the best vlogging camera, the best everything camera. But the truth is that 90% of them are not using them the way that they think you should use them or its intended use. Now, let me preface something. If you are a travel creator, if you do tourism, walking videos, maybe if you do gym content, maybe this might be a great camera for you because of the active tracking. Oh, and a fitness instructor. My girlfriend's a fitness instructor. I can set this on stage. She can do her whole entire class and I don't have to worry about panning panning and moving. I just put the wide angle lens on there and it tracks her. It's a very small, specific use case scenario. But the truth is that none of us are Casey Neistat. None of us are daily vlogging in 2024 to the capacity where this camera is as relevant and as useful as other creators are saying that it could be. And if you are, more kudos to you. But I live in New York City and daily vlogging is a headache. Eventually, that's what I want to do with this camera if I decide to keep it. But for the average consumer, they're not using the camera this way. They're not even creating content this way. It's a small niche of daily vloggers, or day in the life creators. And most of them use full frame cameras for that professional looking image. Not that you can't get a good image from this, don't get me wrong. It's possible. But don't lie to yourself and say that you're buying this camera for daily vlogging, because 9 out of 10 times people are not going to do the daily vlogs. More realistically, you're going to use this camera for talking at perspectives. You're going to sit down, consider actually what you're putting together in a video like I'm doing right now, and talk to the camera talking head style. And that's the best use for this camera, or that's the real use case scenario that you should be shopping for. You shouldn't be shopping for this all around perfect travel camera where you're not traveling, you're not doing daily vlogs, and there's other solutions. And over the course of this video, you've seen me use the Pocket Osmo 3, you've seen me use this $200 solution, and you've seen me use a $2,000 solution. And you can tell which one of these looks the best for talking head videos. So what's my conclusion? Most creators are not going to tell you the honest truth. I'm doing this because at one point I was where you were, and I spent too much money on too many stupid pieces of equipment that didn't get me the results I wanted. And then also that idea in the back of your head, like, what if I did have this camera? What would it look like? Well, now you kind of know when it comes to number one, use case, practicality, and cost. There are better solutions out there depending on what your budget is. And those alternatives come down to a couple things. 2 categories. If you're the person that still wants a gimbal, wants steady footage because you travel or etc., you want to get the Insta360 Go gimbal. That thing has deep tracking AI that rivals or is better than the DJI tracking. And you just want to slap your iPhone on there. Just slap your iPhone on there and you'll get exactly what you want from a tracking camera. And then for the rest of us who are doing concise talking head videos where we sit down, we have controlled lighting, we're planning what we're going to say, you're writing out a script. I don't write out a script really. I mean, I do like bullet points and then I just memorize them. But you want a camera that's easily controllable so you can adjust the settings to get a great crisp looking image. And while the Sony camera probably looks the best, it has the highest fidelity, the colors, the depth of field, etc. I'm looking at the Samsung S10e and it looks great too. This is so passable for content, for just talking head videos, whether I'm like showcasing your product. All these do an amazing job of showcasing your product. All these do an amazing job of capturing me in HD quality, 1080p, because all this is 1080p anyway. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining with this image. You let me know in the comments below if you can tell that there's a huge difference between them. So for that type of person who's doing a talking head video, an old Android phone will do wonders. You don't have to get the Samsung S10e. There's other options for you out there. Do some research. But if you wanted a camera, if you wanted a pocket-sized camera that you can take anywhere, that does amazing footage, is very versatile, I would get the Sony ZV-E Mark II. Now I try to get this camera so I can use it and test in this video, but Best Buy messed up my order. It didn't ship in time. I couldn't go pick it up in the store. I had to end up just canceling it. It's a pain in the ass. So I don't have that camera to show you, but I think that's great because it gave me an opportunity to use a Samsung phone, which I've never really done a video on, to show you that the gear that you're obsessing over might not be what you need. You might have an old device that's ready to do what you need it to do already. How many times did I say already? And yeah, when it comes to audio is also a whole nother thing. We're not going to talk about that here. I'll have more videos on my channel. I do have more videos on my channel that you can check out when it comes to audio solutions. That was my rant when it came to the Pocket Osmo 3. It is a camera for idiots. That's not a bad thing because it's idiot friendly, but I don't think that you should invest your money in it if you're not going to use it for what it's for. It is really a toy. It's a toy of a camera, which is fun for some people, but that's why it's out of stock and nobody can find it, because this little Pocket Osmo 3 is being billed as the most hyped camera of 2023, 2024. And while it's great, it's not for everybody. And that's why it's getting returned. That's why you can't find it on the shelves. And that's why it's sitting in people's drawers, not being used to its full capacity. So yeah, I hope this helped you in your buying decision. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more video content. I've got brands sending me really interesting stuff, but I can't say yes to everything. So let me know what you guys are interested in, and I'll see you in the next one.